Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Brent with C4F, and I'm here to show you guys how to build a profitable online fitness business and how to sell bigger packages with higher profits. Okay, today we're talking about, should you pitch the price at the top of the call or the bottom of the call, or front or back of the call, however you want to think about it. And this has kind of been a debate that's gone on for a little while. I'll tell you guys how I feel. I'm more of like the end of the call. Yes, I feel like you have to build value going through the call and then pitch at the end, but there are drawbacks, there are give and take concepts to this, right? So if you pitch the price at the top, yes, it's easier because you get it out of the way. Like if you just say, hey, here's the price, here's the value, now let's go through and see if it's a good fit. That is a way that some people do it, and it does work for them, and it does make sense sometimes. For fitness, and I'm talking different industries. For fitness though, I think specifically, you shouldn't necessarily give the price first and foremost, but they should have an idea of what the price is. Okay, the idea behind pitching price first is understanding, do I even have any potential in the world to sell this person? Do they have enough money or do they not? Do they have, $1,000 for a $4,000 problem, right? Like, do they have enough to actually solve this? And again, your calls generally on average will be shorter because you're DQing people right up front, or your objection handling right up front. And some people love that. I don't. I like to train people to make micro decisions that lead to a macro decision at the end of the call, which is typically either signing up for you or not signing up for you. Either way, it's a decision. It's a big decision that they have to make, yes or no. So when we go through the call, it's a push-pull buying process where we push them away, and basically they have to answer and make a decision to stay on the call. And then we push them away again, and then they have to answer and make a decision so that they can stay on the call. Otherwise, we rule them out, right? And when you can train somebody to make micro decisions all throughout the call, when they get to the end of the call, they're going to make a decision. You're probably not going to get I need to think about it, right? They have been making decisions the entire call. If they've been making decisions in one specific way, like that in favor of like joining your program, they'll probably join your program. If every time you push them throughout the call and they don't push back and they don't answer appropriately, then they're probably not going to sign up at the end. So I do things a little bit differently than both. Like where some people pitch up top, some people pitch at the bottom. I like to get the micro commitments throughout the call. That's my way of knowing if they're going to buy. And then I like to give an example. Okay, so you guys can steal this. By the way, if you guys aren't familiar with like what a push is, it's anything to stress test why they're on the call, why they want to take action, why they want to lose the weight, why it's important to them. It's a lot of those concepts. So it's like, what has you even open to the idea of working with a coach like at this point in your life with, you have so much going on. You mentioned you're busy, you've got the kids, you've got work, it sounds demanding. Like, what has you even open to getting in shape at this point, right? If they answer appropriately, they're going to push back. They're going to say, because it's now or never. I'm always going to be busy. I need to take this step. I need to do this. And it's like, okay, now I pushed, they pushed back, they get to stay on the call. If I push and I said that and like, it may not be the best time. Now I have to stress test again and again. And if I stress test 2 to 3 times and they're like, yeah, no, I don't think I actually want to do this. No, you're right. And if they allow me, if they're flimsy and they allow me to push them right off the call, I'm going to push them off the call because they're not going to buy at the end if they can't even take a micro commitment and say why they actually want to do it, despite having some variables and obstacles kind of going on in their life. So they're not a serious buyer. So that's how I know with a high degree of certainty if I'm going to close someone very early and throughout the call. And if they don't pass those little tests, then I end the call and we don't get to the end. So that's the way that I prefer to do sales, is our push-pull buying process. If you're not familiar, I have tons and tons and tons of content on here. If you want to learn it personally from me and honestly know, like when you're going through a call, if they're going to buy or not, and probably for how much, reach out. We can have a conversation. I have a low ticket now. We cap our roster midway through each month. When we sign 3 to 5 people, we're at 3 this month. I'm probably going to take 5 just because the first 3 came in the first few days of July here. So if those are filled, come in the low ticket and I'll teach you it all the same. Okay, so just reach out on whatever platform you see this on. So the other side of things, so like that's pitching at the top, and that's why some people do that. Some people pitch at the bottom, but they don't follow a push-pull buying process, and they don't price anchor. They don't get an idea or give them an idea of what it could cost. So then they get to the end of the call and they have no degree of certainty if they're going to buy. It's still a complete toss-up 50-50. And then you drop the price like a piano on their head and they're like, whoa, I did not know it costed that much. You're charging $4,000 or $5,000 a year to coach with you? I only have $17. I am on unemployment. My husband is, retired. I don't know what it is, right? You get faced with so many objections that were just nowhere did you see them throughout the call, and that sucks, okay? So if you're following a sales process that doesn't seriously vet them and let them know if you're going to close them by the end, using an outdated process, and quite frankly, I would not want to get on sales calls for, 30, 60 minutes at a time and then be faced with with a big surprise at the end, and it all blows up in my face. That's annoying. The calls that I don't close usually are the ones that end in 15, maybe 20 minutes, right? So I like somewhere in the middle, okay? Not pitching up top because they don't have any concept of the value, and then they're basing all their decisions solely on price. Don't love that, especially with fitness. And B2B and other more complex sales, yes, but with fitness, like they're going to base so much of what they do on the price and not the value and like the future pacing and where they could be and where they could be if they don't take action, right? The consequence, the cost of inaction. So pitching up top doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Pitching at the bottom with no stress testing or concept of what it costs is also a terrible way to go about things, not a very fun way. So again, what I do in the middle, I just told you a little bit about the push-pull process, and then giving them an idea, giving them a concept, what the industry is charging, and you can utilize this as sort of a price anchor. So I'm going to give this away. This is very valuable. Every week I say, hey, I vowed to never give this away, and then I find myself giving it away. So guys, YouTube, I'm dropping tons and tons of valuable content on here, 100% free. So again, send to a friend, like, share, subscribe. If you don't want to work with me, maybe you know someone who does, that wants to really scale their business in the most profitable way, send them my way. I'll send you $1,000. It's that easy. So basically, when I'm price anchoring, I'm giving people 3 options, okay? So it's like, hey, by the way, and this is usually on the triage, we do a 2-call close. Again, if you're not familiar, I've got tons of content on that, so go ahead and hit the channel. Basically, what we're doing is we're saying, hey, do you have any idea like what fitness coaching costs? Like, have you worked with a coach in the past? And if they say, no, I have no idea what it costs, okay, let me give you a little breakdown. Is that okay? Cool. So you really have 3 tiers, okay? You have kind of like on the bottom end, you have group coaching, okay? That's good for some people who kind of want the raw team effort, go in there, get a workout, build a sweat, and then go home and feel good about yourself, okay? So it is good for getting movement, and it's pretty cheap. It's usually anywhere from $50 to $150 a month, right? Where it lacks, in my opinion, is one, there's no customization, okay? So like the workouts that you're doing, everybody's doing. So the 78-year-old woman and the 24-year-old woman are doing the exact same workout as you. So it's not really specific to your goals. They don't help with nutrition. And, you know, to be frank with you, you have to time your schedule up with theirs to make sure that you can meet the classes. Again, some people it makes sense, others it doesn't, okay? But that's kind of where you have on like this end of the spectrum. On this end, on the high end, you have in-person coaching where they handle your nutrition and your training. Now we're talking anywhere from $50 to $100 an hour that you're there with them, okay? You go 2-3 times a week at $100 an hour, you're $300 a week times 4 is $1,200 a month, and that's not outrageous at all. Most are $800 to $1,200 for in-person coaching, especially when you add in nutrition. Again, really good. Only drawbacks are you just don't get the around-the-clock support. You get that 3-day support for the hour that you're there, okay? So about 3 hours a week you're buying the support, unless they handle nutrition and accountability, which again, then you're going to pay for. We strive to be somewhere in the middle, okay? With being entirely online, we can provide the support around the clock. You have a coach in your pocket 30 days a week. You also have the group coaching aspect because we have a community of people just like you that are able to come together, share thoughts, share wins, share ideas, and then we mix it all together into one package online. I'm able to do that at a reduced cost, somewhere in the middle between $150 and $800, okay? Is that conversation, is that off the table, or do you feel like somewhere in that range it might make sense for you? That's kind of how I like let them know what the prices are. You have this, here's some drawbacks, but here's where it's good. You have this, it can be good, but here's some drawbacks. We wanted to take the best of both worlds, and we wanted to put it in the middle, and we wanted to put it in the middle as far as pricing goes as well. We also, you know, have a wide range just depending because it is so custom. So like with your goals and your budget, do you feel like it could fit somewhere in between there? Guys, if you've learned nothing else from me, take that. That's going to make your life so much easier. I mean, so much easier. It's a literal hack in fitness. And I'm giving this to you guys because you guys, I hope, are my loyal following. I hope you guys stick around. I hope you guys continue to watch and get value. These are 10-minute podcasts, real quick. You listen at 2x, it's 5 minutes out of your day, and hopefully you're making extra money from it. I know people reach out all the time and say they're generating sales, or they got like a higher show rate, or things are improving with their systems and their sales just from listening to this. So again, I just want to say I appreciate you guys for sticking around. Like, share, tell a friend. It means the world to me. With that, have a great day.